It was just past 6 in the evening when my wife, Lena, returned home. I heard the familiar click of the front door and the soft shuffle of her shoes on the tiles. At first, she seemed lighter than usual, practically floating into the living room with a wide smile and a hum of happiness that I hadn't heard in months. "Hey," she said, her eyes sparkling. "Guess what happened today?" I looked up from the couch, pretending to be casually interested, though the fatigue of the day weighed on me. "What happened?" I asked, curious, but careful not to read too much into it. "You'll never believe it," she said, practically skipping toward me. "My presentation went amazingly. My boss loved it, and they want me to lead the next big project. Can you believe it?" I smiled, genuine enough to match her excitement. "That's great, Lena. I'm proud of you." She laughed, tossing her bag onto the chair, and suddenly the whole apartment seemed brighter, warmer. It felt almost like the old Lena, the one I had fallen in love with. We chatted for a few minutes about the project, the office politics, the small triumphs that had made her day so special. Her joy was contagious, and I could feel my own mood lift as I listened. Then she paused mid-sentence, as if something had just registered. Her eyes widened, her smile faltered, and a faint crease appeared between her brows. "What's wrong?" I asked immediately, standing and stepping closer. She took a sudden step back, her hand hovering near her mouth, as if trying to find the words. Oh no," she whispered. Her voice shook slightly. I think I left it on my desk." "Left what?" I asked, confused by the sudden tension. Her eyes darted toward the hallway, then back to me. "The folder, the documents, the ones with the project plans and the client info. I left them at work." I frowned. "You mean confidential files?" Yes, exactly. And they're important. I can't believe I did this." Her tone grew frantic, rising with each word. She started pacing, biting her nails, muttering to herself. "If someone sees them, they'll know. I could get in so much trouble." I reached out and gently touched her arm. "Hey, slow down. Where exactly did you leave them?" She shook her head, panic flashing across her face. "On my desk. The cabinet. You know, the one I told you not to open? The one the interns have access to now?" I froze. I realized instantly what she hadn't considered. The people at the office she trusted weren't always careful. If the interns had seen those documents, it wasn't just about forgetting a folder. It could be a massive breach, a real scandal. Her joy from a moment ago had vanished entirely. The vibrant glow in her eyes was replaced by fear so raw it made her seem smaller, almost fragile. She kept pacing, muttering apologies to herself, clutching her hair as if trying to physically pull the mistake out of the air. I have to fix this," she whispered. "I need to call the office. Maybe they haven't. Maybe." I stepped closer and put a hand on her shoulder. "All right, first things first. Let's think. Who could have seen it? Who has access to your desk right now?" Her hands flew to her face. "The interns. They could have taken a picture. They could. I don't know. I don't know what to do." I tried to calm her. "Okay, deep breath. Let's call your assistant. Let's see if the files are still safe. Panicking won't help." She nodded shakily, fumbling for her phone in her bag. Her hands were trembling as she dialed the office. She put the call on speaker so I could hear. "Hello? Yes, hi. It's Lena. Yes, I'm at home. I think I left the project folder on my desk. Yes, the one with the client plans." Her voice trembled as she spoke. I could hear her swallowing back tears. After what felt like an eternity, she hung up. Her expression shifted, her panic giving way to relief. They found it. My assistant grabbed it. Everything's fine. No one touched it. Oh my God." She sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. I thought I ruined everything. I thought I could lose my job, ruin the project, embarrass myself in front of everyone." I sat down beside her, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. She shivered slightly against me, still trembling from the adrenaline of the moment. "You didn't," I whispered. "It's okay. Everything's fine. You're fine." She peeked up at me, her eyes wide, still damp. I was so happy when I got home. And then I realized what I'd done. I don't know what came over me. I panicked." I smiled softly. "That's human. Mistakes happen. Panic happens. But you handled it. You called for help. You fixed it. You're stronger than you think." She let out a shaky laugh, burying her face against my chest. I felt like the happiest person alive when I walked in, and then It was like the floor fell out from under me. I can't believe how fast joy can turn to terror. I held her tighter, feeling the weight of the relief that finally settled over both of us. Sometimes life does that. One moment, everything's perfect. The next, it's chaos. But you survived it, and I'm right here. We survived it together. She lifted her head and smiled weakly, exhausted, but grateful. Thanks for being here. Always, I said. The rest of the evening passed quietly. We had dinner, watched a show, and eventually curled up on the couch together. I kept stealing glances at her, still amazed at how quickly the joy in her eyes had turned to panic, and how fast it had healed once the threat was gone. That night, I realized something about life, marriage, and trust. Happiness is fragile, panic is swift, but resilience, love, and presence, those are what make the difference when the unexpected strikes. And even though the moment had been terrifying, seeing her relief, her gratitude, and her vulnerability reminded me of the reason I had fallen in love with her in the first place. We went to bed that night, holding hands, a little closer than usual, both of us silently acknowledging that joy and panic can coexist in a heartbeat, but love, if nurtured, is always steady.